Welcome to the Core Experience, your connection to community, business, and the people who make it all happen with your host, Brandon Suba.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Core Experience. I'm Brandon Suba, your host. I'm a treasury relationship manager at Core Bank, but I always like to get over to the Pixel Fire Studio podcasting station and put a couple podcasts together for the bank. What we cover on this is community involvement, some of the great things that we're doing at the bank. We even do banking podcasts. We did one on Positive Pay, and I think it got lots of hits. People were really into that. But this is one that we are going to focus on one of our strategic partners that we really enjoy supporting. And I say really enjoy, I mean, Jeff and I have gotten to build, I would say, almost a friendship over these last few months. And I know before our friendship and everything, Core did stuff with Omaha Home for Boys. So really excited to have you on. Let's introduce Jeff DeWispelare with us today. He's the president and CEO at Omaha Home for Boys. The Omaha Home for Boys mission is to support and strengthen youth, young adults, and families through services that inspire and equip them to lead independent, productive lives. And I've been beyond fortunate to see the multi-levels that you guys do this at. And we'll probably talk a little bit about the soiree event that we attended. But even going onto the campus, I've had the opportunity to do the food prep. So we made burritos, and I heard they're still talking about those burritos. They were
infamous for sure.
Top notch. But then we got some tours of the facilities, and it's just every time I go, I learn something new. It blows me away. So, Jeff, excited to have you on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
Welcome to the Core Experience.
Thank you so much.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with Omaha Home for Boys.
Well, I've been in the nonprofit sector for 32 years now. So I came out of college and started with YMCAs and spent 20 plus years there, and then been with the Omaha Home for Boys now for 12 years. In 18, I was named the CEO, and just kind of in my blood to be nonprofit type of stuff. And so I get to deal with everybody's out working with the kids, doing the hard work. I am out telling stories, meeting folks like you, doing events, trying to make sure we have the resources necessary for us to keep doing the work that we try to do. So.
Was there anything specific about Omaha Home for Boys that kind of drew you away from the YMCA, or was it just a good opportunity to use those nonprofit skills?
There was a specific thing. It was more about the YMCA helps a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Omaha Home for Boys, we help those that are underserved, really, really underserved. And so I think just the passion for that and knowing that we can make a bigger difference. The Y does great work. My wife still works at the Y. Yep. And so I love the YMCA, but this gave me an opportunity to dig a little deeper and really help those that everybody's turning their back on. And
the more I've gotten to know you, especially this year, the more I see kind of the father figure that you are. And I know you're not in there, chumming up the boys and all of that, but it is probably a good presence, and you're very involved with everything. I mean, most, if not all it's boys and girls on campus. Right. They know who you are. Absolutely. And so I think it was a great fit for your personality to be at Omaha Home for Boys.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, it's been so rewarding to me, just the opportunity to share this story. And then it obviously meet folks like you, meet people that we're talking to here on this podcast. It's just the story is so powerful. All you have to do is tell it, and people want to be part of it. And so that's why we're excited to be here today.
Great. So what are some ways that Core Bank has been able to support Omaha Home for Boys?
Well, we received the Impact Award you guys do back in 2023, so we were excited about that. We appreciate that. Just coming to events, you guys are very supportive. You've come to our big event we just had, you mentioned last month. We raised over $100,000 that night, and you got to see kind of the stories. So just that partnership, and then obviously you mentioned when we started out about strategic partnership, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So we hope to do even further business with you guys down the road.
Well, the stories that we saw at the, what was that gala event called? What do you call it? It's not a gala.
The Imagine event.
The Imagine event, yes. The stories that were shared there, and I love to be the host, right? Like I love emceeing events, but what was the young man's name that was the
Tegan.
MC? Tegan He did a phenomenal job. It was his second year, right? MCing, or was it his first year MC? Oh, he was recognized.
Yeah, he was the program, and like he was the person that was the story the year before.
Yes.
So he had never done that before. So yeah, we took a risk there, but I think it paid off.
Oh, he did a great job. And again, even if he didn't do a good job, the knowledge and the experience that he brought to it, you can't hire somebody. I mean, he went through the full Omaha Home for Boys curriculum, all the projects and everything. And hearing his story on top of watching him do that was just cool.
Yeah.
It was just really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because we had 3 levels there. We had somebody currently in the program, somebody within 10 years of being out of the program, and somebody 10 plus years out of the program. He was 25 years out.
10 plus years. Was it Jeff?
Jeff? Yeah.
Jeff. And he doesn't live in Nebraska anymore.
He was in Texas.
He came from Texas for it.
So
that was really cool.
Yeah, really cool to hear his story and what he believes about what we did for him in the past. Well, I'd say we. I wasn't there. I was not there back in those days, but it was an impactful deal that he's carried for the rest of his life. So,
and then to have the teacher.
Yeah.
So he had a teacher that he talked about in his overall story, and that teacher was there that night. They were taking pictures.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
See,
Burke, so.
that's it. It was a very moving. I've sat through many events that are similar, and never walked away with the impact that your guys' event had.
That's what we like to hear.
So speaking of events, what do you got coming up here?
On November 19th, we're kicking off Project Christmas Joy.
Okay.
And that's just a gift-giving opportunity. So you can go out on Amazon. You can find that on our website, but you can go to Amazon, pick out stuff. For the young people, they would send it to us directly. You can go buy stuff and bring it to us. We can do a drive at your at your company.
Cool.
If you want, we can set up information booths, whatever you need. Come speak to your staff. It's just giving those kinds of things that our youth are looking for. So I've got a couple things here. Before I got here today, I wanted to make sure what are those things they really want. And some of them are wants, you can tell by what they are, and some are going to be needs. They would not be asking for some of this, but just to name a few, we have Bluetooth speakers, very popular. To listen to music, board games, water bottles that they can carry around, a lot of body care items, deodorants, soaps, that kind of stuff, blankets, cologne. And then coats and gloves are important in Nebraska. They, again, don't request those but they need them. And then appliances for when they get their own place. So those are kind of our top 10-ish things that they ask for. The list is much broader than that. When you go online, you'll be able to see that. But that just gives you an idea of what we're looking for. As
far as convenience, because I think it's very important, you guys are at events doing the drives. It gives a company the opportunity to really have an impact. But is the Amazon order pretty nice?
It's simple. Yeah. You go on there and just click and you'll see they need 5 of these. If you want to buy all 5, great, or 1. Go through, put a little note in there and it ships it right to us. We wrap it. There'll be an opportunity down the road for volunteerism there too. Okay. We have people come together and wrap the presents. So you're going to have all this stuff. Once we've kind of logged it in, we'll have a day where we can come, and those that like, and I'm not a present wrapper, I don't like it. So I go help, but they let me just sit off to the side. So
hopefully Christmas music is being played during that time.
Festive, it's fun.
So my wife volunteered at Von Mar, and they would do free gift wrapping. Yes. And so she taught me how to wrap gifts. And you know what? I found an addiction for. I love
So once you know
wrapping.
how, it makes it better. Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's true. Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's why. But we do the same thing at Core Bank when we have some of our families. Oh, cool. And I'm there all day. I get there in the morning.
There you go. We'll get you signed up for this.
Okay, yeah, I'll come and rap for you guys too.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Rap artists.
Yeah, that's it's just a neat way of kind of sharing, getting them what they need. Many of our kids, the story I tell, been years back now, but there was a young person that received gifts, and it was Christmas. We're handing out the gifts, and then they were about ready to leave. The volunteers, everybody had left. And they're turning back in the gift. I can't remember what it was, but they're like, thanks for letting me use this. And it hit me, and I said, well, that's yours. And they're like, I get to take this. And they're just their face, like and they find out later that kid's never received a Christmas gift.
Wow, that's nice.
So it was something simple, like it was, there was like a video pad he was using, but he was shocked that it was his to have. Wow. So that's what you're doing when you do this stuff. It's not just another gift. It's maybe the only gift they've ever seen. That's why it's a mix of fun and stuff they probably need.
Right. It's stories like that. And Tegan, I believe his story, didn't he go sleep in like the paper towel area of a grocery store because he got kicked out of his home or he had to leave his home. And
yeah, he had nowhere to be. And so he would sneak in, take the toilet paper, slide in, put it back in. They'd close the store, keep him warm all night, and then they'd wake up and he'd be climbing out of there. So there'd be people there shopping. So he always tells that story.
I hope our listeners are loving this because these are the stories that we've gotten to hear, especially me over the last year. And then is it Jacob's Place? Is that for the... So Jacob's Place, we got to tour that. And it's what age do you start there? Is it 18?
It's basically 17 and runs up to about 21.
Okay. So when we talk about those products, the body care and all of that, there's a closet in there that they load up with that. So just another really good opportunity, even going beyond the Christmas spirit, that always a need for that one.
You don't think about this, but most of the kids we deal with, they don't think about hygiene.
Right.
So they're already struggling with issues of trauma and all this, and then they go to school and they smell. So vital for them to understand how to use deodorant and cologne and just to help and make sure they wash their clothes. Like they've come from environments that make it even more difficult. So they've been through a lot. Then they're being made fun of because they don't understand. Yeah. And you can just imagine it stacks and stacks on them. So those are why these seem simple, but it can be vitally important to them.
Big time. All right. So what are other ways that you can give to OHB?
Well, we have a couple things. Obviously, I mentioned the website. It's ohb.org. So it's pretty simple. You can go on there if you want to. Cash is king. So if somebody wants to give a one-time donation, or even better, we prefer individuals jump on and do a monthly, just to subscribe and send 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever you can do per month. Then we know it's flowing in and we use it for the things we're talking about right here. We have an OHB Friends group that you can sign up for. That's more kind of what you mentioned. Come wrap the gifts, participate in events, come do the burritos, all these different opportunities to give back. And then that group also, we do some fundraising with that group, trying to say, if you know some folks, introduce us to somebody. And then that we do a lot of friend raising, right? Fundraising is important, but it has to start with friend raising, and then friends become funders, and it kind of all works together. And then we do have a youth mart on site. That is run by a third party. It's Partnership for Kids runs it for us. It's a place you can bring I guess it'd be like your couches and dressers and things, kind of similar to like a Goodwill program. That is used, and if a young person goes out to get their first apartment and they come in, they have to be under 25 years old. We take them there and they can shop for 3 or 4 things to take to that first place. So it's a good way to get rid of what it is that you think is kind of getting worn out at your place. Not worn out, but worn in your mind, you move on. I always tell people we don't want junk, right? Because these kids deserve just as much as your kids deserve. So we always tell people, don't bring something that's ripped up. If you're not using it, that's why I don't want to use the word worn again, because it's more about we all move on from things. We don't want worn out things. We want things that are quality because these kids deserve to feel and see and be part of quality. So.
And do you donate that at Partnership for Kids, you said? Like their building, or how do you get your stuff to them?
Well, you go online and then we can tie you up to them.
Perfect.
But yeah, they're right on our campus. They have a garage there, one of our garages. So
awesome.
We have a back room there that we do that. And then the only other way, really, we have a lot of events throughout the year. So you can participate in those. Golf event in May. We have our Imagine event that we just had. We'll have that next September again. Project Christmas Joy. We do a back to school in the summer, similar, where they buy school supplies for kids. But there's a lot out there. I can't hit it all today, but there's a lot of opportunity if you want to be part of it. The key is go out to that website, ohb.org, and kind of click around, and you'll find some stories and some stuff that you might interest you.
Yeah, it's the good side of social media and the internet is when you're able to connect and see what you guys are offering and what you need. Well, Jeff, any final thoughts on OHB and all you guys do?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. Like I said, if we tell the story, usually people participate or want to. The one thing I would just end with is that I kind of mentioned it a minute ago, but it's kind of what drives me every day, that we assume a lot about these kids. And so anytime I'm in front of a mic or on any kind of media, I want to make sure, don't assume these kids are thugs or they're these troublemakers. they've had so much that has gone wrong in their lives that they don't even know. They're not even making choices. It's just happening to them. And so I always tell people, give some grace, come learn about our program. We spend time with them and watch them just grow into these crazy, crazy, successful young people. Yeah. And we got to keep them with us, because when they go back to that environment, they're going to go back to that environment. And so it's a battle. It's a tough job. But I always tell people, don't just assume they're bad kids or they've chosen to steal a car. Some of it has been survival. Tagan's one.
Yep.
I mean, they said he was breaking and entering. Well, he was breaking and entering. He's trying to find a place he wouldn't freeze to death.
Yeah.
He's trying to find a place to sleep. So make sure you're looking at it from the right perspective. So I'd end with that, because that's what gets me fired up every day to go do this job. So
well, goes right in line with all the stories and everything that I've seen with you guys. For more information on the Core Experience podcast, you can go to corebank.com/podcast, or you can email us at coreexperience@corebank.com. Well, again, Jeff, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
And for everybody else, we'll talk to you on a future podcast.
Thank you for listening to The Core Experience, your connection to community, business, and the people who make it all happen. For more details, go to corebank.com/podcast or email coreexperience@corebank.com. Brought to you by Core Bank, member FDIC.